everyone. This is Ruthie of Ruthie K's and Anna of Ruthie K's, and we're here with So Much Talk, SEW, talking about sewing. Last week we were talking about custom sewing and what custom sewing was versus other types of sewing like alterations and customization, uh, because the wording can be very confusing for all of us. So if you're confused, go back, watch that one. Today we're talking about what we actually do at a custom appointment. So when you call us and get hold of us and let us know that you have an idea and you want this idea made, that starts the process. So the first thing we do is make you an appointment for a consultation. And the first consultation appointment is free at Ruthie K's. Not everybody does that. Please realize we all have set our own business plan. So I set it up so that you can interview me, I can interview you, and we can decide at that first appointment if we can work together and if we want to work together. And guess what? I'm not offended if you don't want to work with me. It's just like you shouldn't have to go see a dentist who you don't like, okay? They don't agree with your philosophy or you guys just don't fit. It's okay. Same thing with your seamstress. And if you want, I'll recommend other seamstresses to you. Unfortunately, I don't have a huge list, but I have a small list. And I'd gladly share that with you. Depending on what it is you need, I have different people. I'm trying, by the way, if you're another seamstress, to make a list of seamstresses and to make a network of seamstresses so that we can share with each other. Because when my business is really busy, I actually need people to send people to. And I need to know you and you need to know me so that we can send people to each other. Guess what? We don't even have to like each other. You know what? I have 40 realtors in my network, at least. And I don't send everybody to the same one. Do you know why? Because my one friend is like so exciting and he's so over the top and he's how many of you just went into the shivers here? I'm going to send you to it. Hannah's raising her hand here. I'll send you to him. He's fabulous. I adore him. We have a great time. But he's not somebody I'm going to send somebody who needs somebody lower key. But then I have my other friend who she is just mellow. And she'll just sit there and chat with you and you'll feel like you're having just a good visit. Well, she's finding out what it is that you need. And then, she meets with you and it's all calm and she gives you tea and hey, if you need that kind of calm and mellow, I got her for you. Then I have, all these other people in between. Some of them too, they work with different places, different counties, some in different states. So that's the same kind of thing we are as tailors. We're different. I happen to love doing custom work. I happen to love making things fit you. And in my goals, my alterations may be on the lower end than you think they should be. You'll be glad for that. But it doesn't mean I'm not good. But my philosophy in alterations is the more people that get alterations, the better they feel, the happier they are in their clothes. Thus, I'm boosting your confidence with your clothing, which is my whole motto, right? But with custom, it's not going to be the same price range as my alterations. With custom, you're coming to me and we're making you something. And this something has special effect to you. That's why we're doing it. Okay? Whether it's a wedding gown or a tuxedo or a pair of pants. And the chances are, if I'm making this custom for you, it's for a special occasion. You may wear it once, or it's something you want to keep the rest of your life. You want it to fit and you want to look good. That means it comes at a higher price point. Most custom comes at a higher price point. Okay. So these are the things coming in that we talk about. And truly, I am not offended if you just say, hey, Ruthie, it's good. I was glad to meet you. This was a very good experience. Thank you. I'm going to check around. I'm okay with that. I do ask, please just let me know that I don't need to set aside time to do your stuff if you don't wish to work with me. I'm totally okay with that. I just need to be able to put other people into that time slot. Okay. So those are part of the things. We talk about your expectation. If you come into me and you want a 2-piece suit and you need it in 2 weeks, I'm going to tell you no. Are there people out there that can do that? There are people out there that say they can do that. And maybe they can. Maybe they only take in one project at a time, and that's their time frame. Because could I make you a suit in 2 weeks? Yes. Yes, I could, if I have nobody else on my timeline. Okay? But as tailors, again, we do different things. I am working on alterations. I'm also working on your suit. I take my time and I log pieces in. Okay? So different alterationists, different tailors, different seamstresses, we do things differently. Some people only do custom. That's all they do. And they only work on one project at a time. Other people do custom and they work on 2 or 3 projects at a time. And there's lots of reasons for that in how we run a sewing business. Okay. And they're not just to set you off or put you off or whatever. We want to give every customer the best thing we can. So that's why we set out our timelines for that. So those are all the things we talk about in the first fitting, the first consultation rather, so that you can decide if you want to work with me. Then we can go on if we have a time frame. If we've done all of that quickly, we jive, we mesh, then we go on to the next thing of what is it exactly you want. Now's the time I'm going to ask you 110,000 billion questions. And some of them may seem very intrusive, depending on your intrusive level. Some people tell me everything and nothing and all the things in their whole life, and that's fine. That's actually very helpful to me because out of that I can weed out what it is I'm actually making you. Because it has to do with why you need it, where you're wearing it for, how long a time frame, so that we know what kind of fabric, does this style fit? And I'm not talking, does this style fit you? I'm talking, does the style fit the occasion? Those are all the things that we start talking about. What kind of fabric are you thinking? What do you want it to look like? And I'm even more interested in you not being the expert at what kind of fabric you want, but what do you want it to look like? Do you want it to fit snugger around the hips? Do you want it to fit looser around your waist? Do you want it to be a negative ease, which means it fits you skin tight? Okay, because then I will tell you, okay, do you want it shiny? Do you want it matte? Because then we're going to start talking about fabric. Does your fabric need to be stretchy? Does you want a woven? Okay, with a woven, these are the things that we need to do for it. All of these are pieces that you need to trust that I know how to make happen. What I want from you is how you want it to fit on you, what you want it to look like, what colors you want it in, what style you want. And peoples, I know there's a lot of fashion rules out there and they're all over the internet and everywhere. But if you like your stripes to go around, we're going to put your stripes around. And if you have the attitude to wear it, those stripes are going to be perfectly fine. If you're a small person with a huge personality, you don't have to wear teeny tiny flowers or prints. It's okay. You can wear what you want. Right, Anna?
Absolutely. Yeah. I was actually just thinking, we had someone reach out and say, hey, you should do some of these style videos that we that tell people what to wear for their different body shapes and everything. And I'm thinking, that doesn't actually fit our boosting your confidence with style mission, our personal vocation here, because we actually believe that pretty much everyone can wear pretty much anything. There's very few rules that actually prohibit you from wearing something. It just has to be done right and it has to fit your body.
Yes. And why I ask Anna about wearing just about anything she wants is when Anna was a little girl, we had to ban her from wearing more than 7 colors or patterns at one time on her body because we couldn't look at her.
Guilty, yes, yes. I was
Yes,
the hippie child who had to wear every single color and pattern under the sun
at one time.
at one time.
And the only problem with that is that you can't see the actual person.
Yeah.
Um, if you're going to wear pattern upon pattern upon pattern, that can be okay, but people's eye cannot rest. They don't
Mm.
rest on your face, they don't rest anywhere. So you need a solid color in all that pattern for people's eyes and brain to go, okay, peace for a second. All right, I'm back at you.
This
But
is where the artistry, the art part of fashion comes in.
yes,
Figuring out how to balance all those things.
yeah. I mean, even if it's just a pocket square,
Hmm.
something that allows people's eyes to rest in all that busyness, because multiple patterns are fine together, and
Hmm.
a lot of it has to do with your personality, with your attitude, with your chutzpah. What I mean, wear your clothes with confidence. They're your clothes. They're expressing something about you. So that's what the 1,000 questions are for, is what is it you're trying to share with people, and how are you looking at doing that? So a billion questions. And then we move into talking, and by then it's probably a second fitting, and this is when we start with you actually paying to come for that consultation, the second consultation. And we start again with more questions if needed. We verify what it is that we've defined down. We start drawing pictures if we need to. We look at Pinterest pictures. We look at if you have your best friend who has an outfit that you love, get a picture of it. Get a picture of them in it. Because sometimes what you're wanting, we're going to talk through, and you're going to go, oh, I didn't want exactly that. I wanted that feel. I wanted that look. And by look, in quotes, that means what I wanted was for people to have, when they look at me, to think and feel certain things. If I want to look confident, then when people look at me, am I going to look confident? And this is why we follow a lot of these rules, and this is why we have them stuck in our head. But then we have the wonderful people out there in the world who show us that, you know what? Hi, I'm me, and I'm here. Pee Wee Herman. Pee Wee Herman rocked the Pee Wee Herman look. How many other people could ever dress like Pee Wee Herman? You don't know who he is, go look up some images. Queen Latifah. Oh my gosh. When she came out and people criticized her, and she's like, yeah, no, I'm dressing how I want. It's like, this is me. And you learn to love the me inside by seeing the me outside. And she wore everything well. Whether you liked it on her or not is another thing. Whether you thought she should wear it, that's another thing. But she wore it, and she wore it with the confidence that she felt good and she looked good. Isn't that what we want? So that's
I
what we
need
want for your custom.
I need to send you pictures of some of Zendaya's outfits that she's worn. She specializes in dresses that look like armor, and I think you'd get a real kick out of that. But she just has fun. She wears just crazy cool things.
Yeah.
She's one of the new hip young things that is setting style right now.
I think she's a rapper, but
She's
she
a
plays the
dancer and
flute. No,
musician. No.
somebody
That you're
else.
thinking of Lizzo.
Lizzo. Her style too. She
Yeah.
wears her clothes as she wishes with confidence.
Mhm.
And that's what makes them look good on her.
Yep.
Is they fit her, and she's happy in them.
Mhm.
She is comfortable in them, whether you're comfortable in them or not. So that's what we're looking for, because that's what we want for you with your style. If your style is a straight skirt with a cute little sweater and a jacket and your hair up in a bun, that's your style. You rock it. You carry that, and then you show that confidence because you're in your style, you're in your comfort zone, and now you're happy.
We have a friend who she happens to work in agriculture, and she's decided she's going to start rocking the Miss Frizzle idea, where she's got this dress that has fruits and vegetables all over it, and she's going to get like matching earrings and just go the whole, like Miss Frizzle from Magic School Bus. She's going to go the whole 9 yards and make it fantastic. And she's going to get a few outfits. She said, just for fun, because why not? I'm in agriculture. This will be hilarious.
Yeah.
So, and it'll make her feel confident and happy, and it'll be great.
And those are what we're looking for. And you don't have to dress weird.
No.
You don't. You can dress very conservatively. You can dress very traditionally, and it's totally okay. But you could also dress traditionally if you're from another culture in America and be totally okay too. If you want to wear your sari, I don't think I'm pronouncing that quite right, but your Indian traditional dress, then that's okay. You should be confident in that and be able to wear that and have it fit you properly so that you can do that. I also talk to people who are moving into something a little new, because sometimes it's with custom. They want something a little different. That's why they're coming custom. And we talk about how it's okay because clothing is camouflage. Clothing is camouflage. It physically is to camouflage what we don't want to show and show what we want to show. Okay? So if you have lumps and bumps that you don't like, then that's why you have custom clothing made. If you have a hip that's 3 inches lower than your other, custom clothing is a lot easier on you than alterations. Those are the things that are very important for your seamstress to know too, because we have to adjust your pattern to that. And we can make you a pattern to where people's eyes look at you and go, oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with that person. Which is what their eyes should do anyway, but their brain tells them other things. So those are all the things that in the first 2 consultations that we go over. Then the number of fittings depends upon the complication of the pattern, the complication of the adjustments that need to be made, whether this is traditional or non-traditional. We just made suiting for somebody who is not a traditional size at all. And with that, I think we had close to 10 different fittings to make sure everything fit the way we wanted. So we have that. If we're doing costuming, sometimes there will be more fitting with that because it's something that is a little different than our norm. And we have to make you comfortable with how traditional we're going to be, how non-traditional we're going to be. If you're wanting a Victorian dress, do you really want to wear the corset laced as snug as they did? Maybe snugger than you would want, or maybe you'd want it even snugger than they did. So those are different things that we're looking at. Then I go and I take that and we make the pattern. Then from making the pattern, we're going to make a sample that's not out of your regular fabric. It's going to be out of a muslin, out of some other fabric that I have laying about. It may be out of a sheet or an old curtain that I have, but the fabric will be equivalent to the fabric we're making your item out of. And with that, then you're going to have to come and do those fittings. Out of that, we adjust your pattern. Then once we get our final pattern, then we cut out your garment and we make the outer garment, and then you try that on. Then we put the lining in and you try that on. So see, there can be a lot of fittings, or there could be a couple fittings. I just made a pattern off of somebody's outfit, which is a custom. They have this favorite dress. They've had it for 100 years, they said. And I'm sure they haven't. They're not that old. But for a very long time. And they can't just go to the store and buy it. But they love this dress. So we take that dress, and I don't take it apart. I have ways that I've learned in my many years of sewing. I have been sewing since I was 6, guys. And we make the pattern off of that dress. So they're probably only going to have 1 or 2 fittings because we already know this dress fits. So if our fabric matches and our pattern matches, then this one's only going to be a 1 to 3 fit for that. So fittings, When it comes to fabric, by the way, at the second consultation, that's when we start looking at fabric. We start picking fabrics. We'll get samples of fabrics. And the start of actual sewing happens once we have fabrics and patterns defined. So to sum it all up, you have at least one consultation appointment. We interview each other. We figure each other out. There's probably going to be a second consultation appointment where we actually meet and we spend that time getting down drawings, finalizing drawings, picking samples. Then you're going to need to come see me for a short time to pick which samples you want, or you're going to need to go out and find your fabric and bring it to me. Once we have the fabric, once I have the pattern made, then we start in with the creation of the garment, making a sample garment, trying on until we get your final garment done. And it usually will take, on average, 3 to 6 months. 6 months as if it's something really big, like a fancy wedding gown. Or a 4 or 5 piece suit. That might take a little longer too. And some of the length of time depends on how soon we can get fabric. Because if we order it, sometimes it can take a while. Because most of our fabric is not made in the United States. And since COVID, we can't just go out and grab a piece of fabric all the time. It's getting better, but it still can take a little bit of time. So that's Ruthie and Anna from Ruthie K's on So Much Talk, SEW So. And we're glad you're with us today, and we'll talk to you later.